Okay, I'm not gonna use that voice for the podcast. Hello, guys.
Okay, okay.
Welcome to the Catboy Chemical Society podcast number 4. There ain't no name for this right now, so I'm just calling it the Hodgepodge. So, we have a few guests with us today. Usually at the start of every podcast, there was one or two guests, and there's usually sound of drilling in the background. But hey, this time I made sure to do a pre-stream prep so that funny stuff doesn't become too funny. Anyway, so Edward, I want to ask you a question. What project are you up to lately? There?
Yeah?
Okay. I guess he's not ready to say nothing yet. Alright, there we go. What project are you up to lately?
Currently,
Huh?
currently I'm making copper sulfate by the direct oxidation of copper using hot sulfuric acid. I have like 100 milliliters of hot sulfuric acid in the fuel right now, but it's working very nicely.
So you're oxidizing copper to produce sulfur dioxide and copper sulfate.
Yeah, basically.
Is the sulfur dioxide gonna be used for something? Like, is it like used?
Mm, no, not really. I don't have a plan for it. I'm out of sodium hydroxide, so I'm trying to scrub it using sodium carbonate, but I don't think it's working really well. But that's why I have it in the fume hood.
Sodium hydroxide will definitely convert that sulfur dioxide into other things that might be useful, like sulfites and stuff. Very useful for certain reactions and gold refining. So I have a question as
Yeah.
well. It seems that you break more glassware than anyone I know. Even people I know in university doesn't break that much glassware. You hold the record, man.
Well,
What's up with
Well, I
that?
mean, I haven't really broken anything lately, except for a joint on a 100 ml flask, but that was because I was tapping with a screwdriver trying to remove a stopper. But
Oh
to be honest, I
God.
haven't really broken anything.
Yeah, I know, but every time I hear broken glassware, it's always you that pops up. Is it just that you record these things more often? Because I'm actually curious. Like, usually when admittedly I have broken some glassware. Right? We all did. Can't avoid that. In fact,
Well,
actually, I can't talk about it. Never mind. I have to keep this one a little wraps.
yeah, I think it's sort of because I post about it. Most people probably just break it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, it's
Most
broken.
people will
Yeah.
break things and never let it see the light of day, like me. I mean, I'm gonna tell you though, I almost never break things, but when I do, I will never post it. So it's like the time something breaks and I post it, that'll be the end of the world. You know?
Yeah, I mean, now I don't really play Jenga with my glassware anymore, and I have
Yeah,
clamps and
yeah.
clips and all
That's the
that, so
first stuff I've seen. I've always seen Jenga and all that stuff. But what I really liked was the very innovative stuff that you've built. That's something I really, really enjoy because I do about the same thing.
oh
Makeshift
yeah, of course.
apparatuses. This is like one of my most favorite things. How come? There's like two types of amateur chemists. There are those who try to make things as professional and as lab like as possible as the labs they see, which yes, that's one way to go about it. But for some reason, whenever I have a setup right, I see it also as some sort of art to create something that both looks janky but works professionally at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
That is art. And that's something I do. I mean, it but you learn some very surprising things along the way. Like I use binder clips for paper for high current connections. I run those up to 60 amps and they don't break a sweat. You try anything else, soldering them, crimping them. Because the problem is when you crimp something with like a copper pipe, right? Sometimes oxides end up forming underneath and that ends up fucking it up. So you're gonna have to like uncrimp it and decrimp, and it was just too much work. You put the binder clip, you can just, press on it when it gets corroded and put the new one. That's why it's pretty useful, you know? I find a lot of useful alternative equipment by doing this. Of course, there are limits though. You know, if your setup is too janky, then it becomes too, then it actually becomes unsafe. You know, there's just certain times when it's acceptable and other times when it's unacceptable. You know, like
Oh
it,
yeah, that's for sure. I have a lot of sort of like improvised equipment. It works great, but
yeah.
for some other stuff I've made, it just falls apart.
Yeah. There's like things that you can improvise and things that you just shouldn't improvise. Like I've never made my own power supplies, mostly because I can't. I know some other people are able to do that because they have knowledge and experience to do so, but I am not one of those people. You know, if you ask me to make my own power supply, I won't be able to. I mean, I might be able to, but it's not going to be as good as something I will buy, mostly because I have no experience in that field, you know. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can
Yeah,
just.
I used to work on electronics, but I sort of just gave up on that because I could never get anything to work. So
Oh,
yeah,
what would
I
happen?
I
I'm
feel that.
curious.
I'd spend
Don't
like
give up.
six
Don't give up.
hours soldering, and then I just turn on it, does nothing, or it catches on fire. And I have no idea what's wrong with my soldering because I'm just not good at visualizing things in like 3 dimensions. So I'm not really good at soldering circuits and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
Oh my God, you remind me of some of a childhood thing. I had this kit, right?
Yours. Welcome.
oh
It
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it was a kit where you have this what's it called? It's like this.
PCB and components.
Yeah, it's like
To
PCB, a breadboard, and you can make like a touch where a theremin. You can make like a heat sensor. And I was a kid, right? So what I didn't realize at the time was that the electrolytic capacitors, okay, you had to put them a certain way. You can probably guess what happened when I put that 9-volt battery in the fucking connector. Let's just say it was basically a box of fireworks. Ah,
I
Vivek,
remember I I
you
remember
just
I
joined the
accidentally
voice
wired it.
chat. Literally, that's how you join the podcast. Are you in? If you're in the Catboy Chemical Society Discord, then you can join the voice chat. If you're not, then join it, and you just do uh the command of what's it, exclamation point Discord, and it should work. In fact, I will just type it for fun. Otherwise, just honestly, there you go. See, doesn't even send. Ah, it's sent. I think.
answer.
Hey, what's up? Oh, Vivek, I really want to talk to you
What's that?
about something as well. It's about your current process. So remember the idea that we had of using butane to like spot weld titanium. When I told you that idea, did you actually consider it? Because it works, but
No,
it's incredibly stupid. I mean, let's be honest. Like I can see the worst happening.
yeah, I had some explosive accident with acetylene in the past, so
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
I know that'll
let's
do
see.
it. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't do it either. I just said it because I'm like, it technically works, but you're risking a lot trying it.
Yeah, I will just go find a TIG welding workshop somewhere
You know what else is
and get
interesting
it done.
though? You're able to get pure antimony trichloride. Like, I think India has quite the good selection of chemicals. I know someone who straight up bought dimethyl sulfate. I think that was Vibs Labs. You know of him?
Uh, well, they are selling carbon tetrachloride online, like openly. No
So there's no.
regulation,
Are there
nothing.
any regulations there for any of these? Because I'm curious. Like, because
No, there is no regulation.
last
There is
time.
a regulation for acids,
Ah, yeah,
those
that
three,
makes a
four
lot of
soluble
sense.
acids.
Last time
But I can.
I went to India. I went to India several
Mhm.
times, by the way. I got
Which
some.
place?
Uh, I went to this. Well, if I I went to Karnataka. Okay, I just visited a
Okay,
certain
okay,
farm.
South India.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I visited a certain farm, and they're making certain plants. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
regardless with that, it's tea. It's tea. It's not weed. It's tea. That's North India.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides that, so one thing I noticed when I was in India, right? I got like quartz crystals from geodes that I found because I was next to a mountain. Maybe that narrows
Mm-hmm.
it down to where I was. Anyway, I wanted to clean these crystals, but it turns out you need hydrochloric acid. So I asked them, hey, can we get hydrochloric acid in this place? And they said, sure, we'll call. And it turns out that they tried to get it, but apparently you're not allowed to ship acids above like a certain concentration because it's volatile. And I was like,
Yeah, but
what?
government banned it a few years ago because of increasing number of acid attacks.
Oh my god, seriously. That is some mad. Honestly, that kind of stuff just ruins it for everybody. Like, I'll
Yeah,
be honest with you.
but I can still get it from black market.
Yeah, yeah, that's where everyone gets it from anyway. For most places,
I mean,
you
there
know.
is a shop just next to a lab supply store, like just
Yeah.
behind it. They are selling it in black.
Ah, yeah. Oh, anyway, Scrot. So, what are you up to? How's the voice stuff going?
Pretty well, I guess. I can do it in low voice, but I cannot do it in high voices.
Ah,
So yeah,
okay, I see.
I can try it right now if you want.
Yeah, I want a sample, man. I want to hear it.
Alright. What should I say? Just give me a word and I'll translate to Japanese and I'll say it out loud.
uh, CCS podcast is nice.
Alright.
その、大磯さんのは本当にいいなと思います。
Fuck.
Damn, that's honestly pretty good. Like I like the softness of your voice. Like whenever I do mine, it's pretty bright and cheery, if you know what I mean. But my
Yeah, it
character,
sounds kind of blow through the nose. I can kind of hear that.
I mean, it is a bit nasally sometimes.
Yeah, a tiny bit, yes.
Yeah, well, actually, the only reason why it's like that because that's the easier one to do. I can actually make it
Yeah.
not lazy, but that's hard. Like, if I want more endurance, I kind of have to compromise on it a bit. But I get better. Like, it sounded better than it did a year ago. So eventually, I'll get it to sounding crystal crisp and stuff. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Damn, there's a lot of people gonna be interviewing each one of them. Oh man. So, Hexagen, what's up? The is this?
Yo,
Oh,
Ah,
nothing much.
there we go. So, what kind of projects have you been doing up lately?
Uh, not really a lot.
Ah,
Lately, I started with uni, so I don't have any time for PubGem.
damn.
So
Shit.
yeah,
What kind of thing in uni? Is it like, is it chemistry? Is it related to
yeah. First semester, really nothing
Nice.
interesting so
Is it
far.
chemistry or chemical engineering?
Normal chemistry.
Ah, yeah, okay. I took chemical engineering so I can read plumber shit. You know what I mean? If you were in the last
Understandable.
podcast, you saw we were trying to find out the process of making PLA, and we were just commenting on the different versions of it. Oh, look, Mizuki is here. What's up? Welcome to
See you, man.
the fourth, not annual, fourth daily-ish, other every other day CCS podcast, man.
that's a weird schedule.
Huh? That's what?
Oh, also, boys, I did something interesting like a few days ago. I think a month ago.
What is
I
it?
basically set up the home ADSP system, so I'm basically listening planes going about Istanbul. Not
Oh,
listening,
so
getting
this is
let me
ham radio or
yeah, yeah.
something?
Oh yeah, yeah, I got an SDR.
Damn, that's
Let me actually I can show it. Let me
yeah,
plug my
let's see
SDR.
it. Yeah, I can stream it.
Oh,
Well, everyone gets to see you mess with air traffic controller. Let's go.
oh yeah. Why not? Let me just check if my working really
Tell
fast.
me when it's ready to be streamed because, you know.
Oh no no. First I will first let's get the coordination data of planes. Then we will
All right.
listen air traffic. Let me just. Yep. My SDR working fine.
All right, let's see this
Okay.
madness. So
Uh,
we got the funniest unofficial experts of their field. We got someone who's a radio operator. We got another person who
Also, my current
most
range is like 70 kilometer.
that's
So,
that's nice.
yep. And since I'm in Istanbul, some crowded as place, even
Oh,
when it's like
you know
rain,
that those people who role play Flight Simulator, you're doing this in a
yep.
whole other level. You're not only role playing Flight Simulator, you're actually playing Flight Simulator. Like to the point where I would say this is not a drill.
Also,
Not a drill, it's a plane.
It's
but it's also fully legal. Like you can legally do
yeah,
it
yeah,
if you
I
got.
know. Cause you know,
Yeah.
otherwise you wouldn't be able to show it if you know what I mean. Cause
I
as
mean, yeah,
mentioned,
you can. I think you can if you got the right license for it. Like if you go get an exam,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure,
which
but
I fully have this. Don't worry, I have it, 100%.
yeah.
So yeah, let me show.
Y-
Actually, let me show the range on Flyradar so we can see better. See, I just catch that.
By the way, guys,
Also,
if you have any other projects to show, you can also share your screens. You know, so I can go through them one by one. It's gonna be like Project Cam. You know.
one more good thing about it, like private jets pay money to like flight radar and shit, so they don't show info of them.
Oh.
But since I'm just getting the ADSP data, I can also track private jets, for example. Let's
I wish I can hide members here or something.
see.
You can just send anything to the
It's
plane
like
if you want.
fuck. See, I'm fucking far away from that one. I also get
I'll share. I'll
uh
create.
THM is Turkish Airlines. For example, this shit is probably
I see
private
Qatar
stuff.
Airlines there over there,
Yep.
5372. I mean, to be honest, you get these information whenever you go to an airport. You get the plane name, the flight data, but you don't get the
Oh,
altitude, speed, and all of this. I know, but at least you get the flight data. It's not that, it's nothing crazy, really. It just looks
yeah.
crazy for the layman.
Oh yeah, but as I said, you can also track private jets. Let's see if there's
Oh my
any.
god, you're gonna find Elon Musk or something. Holy shit. Ay, biniwa! Elon Ma!
Oh,
oh crap, I guess you messed it up, MRI.
Oh yeah, no.
Dude, you're messing
I
it
can't
up.
believe you even run this on what is command prompt.
I don't think I got any private shit right now.
Ah, yeah. Anyway,
The CCS.
while you troubleshoot your air traffic controller, flight simulator, whatever it is, let's
Okay.
let's let's move on to some other topics.
Yep.
Any anyone have any other interesting projects to talk about?
Well, I guess I've been synthesizing nitrotoluene, and currently I'm trying to separate the isomers.
Oh yeah, that was
it's kind of
the
boring.
di or mononitro. I forgot which one you were making.
Mono, because dye is explosive. I don't want it.
Yeah, I was thinking dye is it really dye is already explosive. I thought the only thing explosive is that creeper juice, if you know what I mean.
No, I think it's actually di and tri both are because
Oh damn.
dinitro benzene is also explosive. So I think it's only mono that are safe,
Oh yeah, I
sort
know
of.
that dinitrophenol is used as a sketchy weight loss treatment, and it's explosive.
What?
Oh yeah, that
yeah, yeah.
stuff.
I heard that one.
Like I've
It
seen
like
Chubby
messes.
Emu's video. It like messes with your oxidative phosphorylation and stuff, and that can
It basically
Yeah,
just
it
cause
cause your
forces
bodies to heat up
you
it
you
fast
forces your
as well.
cells to
So like that.
metabolize basically.
yeah,
When that
faster than
happens.
normal.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is you may think that even if you do it short term, right, it will be
It's
fine.
gonna be a lot.
Long term, your neurons are gonna be like, oh my god, we're so old for some reason. Why are we old? Bleh. And you get
Yeah, you
dementia.
work fast.
And then you get dementia and Parkinson's and what else, you know?
So now the Menthea, what you call that thing again? I totally forgot.
Okay,
Yeah.
the only other dinitrophenol I've heard that is explosive though before any of this was DDNP because that is basically an explosive because you also have a diazo on that shit. Am I right? One thing about DDNP though, are there legitimate uses for it that aren't explosive? Like, can you actually make an azo dye with DDNP? I'm pretty sure you can, right? Like, you fail the synthesis of DDNP, but you get a colorful dye you can put on someone's clothing that does not explode. Hopefully, because that would
Oh
suck.
yeah, there's a bunch of azo dyes that you could make from DDMP. I think some person on that chemist was actually made a bunch of picric acid to make DDMP for some dyes. I think.
Oh, interesting. So the so right now, like the previous video I did was I found out that lead dioxide electrodes for chlorate actually might even rival IRTA if you run them right, because like you just need to start with bleach. That's it. It does not erode. But I think you've already seen my video.
So we're talking about electrochemistry now.
The topics are gonna shift, man. There's a lot of people in this CCS right now. I think next time we might have to submit like different topics to talk about because I actually don't. This is the first time I've encountered way too many things to talk about at once. I have to shift and give everyone a chance.
Well, I can talk about something now. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
else want.
Sure. Let's hear
Well,
it.
I was trying to play with DMA and DAC on my STM32, but unfortunately I forgotten it needs symmetric supply. So yeah, the project ain't going to be finished today. I can't, of course, say too much about this project because it's
All right.
secret. Actavish knows more about it.
Okay.
But it
If
certainly is
it's
going to be really interesting.
secret project, let's not talk about anything that violates any
I have
NDAs.
no NDAs. I'm doing it for my own, but I rather keep it a secret so nobody steals it. But I can
yeah, I
talk about the
remember.
electrospinning. I can talk about electrospinning. There's a picture of that in hashtag electronics if you want me to show on screen.
I will definitely show. Wait, I have to actually switch windows to show it, but I can. Oh yeah, I'll do that 1
Or you
second.
can download the picture and show it like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the other way. It's faster. Wait, where is it?
Well, of course you were advertising your membranes made from PVC and PVA, right?
Yeah.
And because I cannot be beaten by Actavesh, I decided to try it from another perspective. So I was trying to make sulfonated polystyrene membranes. The problem is doing it by just dunking polystyrene sulfuric acid will just yield you with a huge gang of gel that's useless.
Mhm.
So I decided to make electrospinning device to make membranes that I will convert later. And that sounds so high tech that even Actavish himself said it's just like NASA level shit.
I mean, if if uh if a if a if a go kart wheel, a printer wheel, a cardboard tube, and a foil target and an old TV transformer and a syringe is NASA level shit, then it definitely and a cutting board. I love the cutting board, man. Wait, is that a motor? Where did you get this motor from?
The motor is on upper side of the picture that's powering the PVC wheel.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got the motor from just printers because the inkjet printers always have at least two DC motors. Well, really shitty ones, but still you can use them for such
But
applications.
has this
I use a
actually?
cutting board. Yes.
I was saying, have you actually made like a nice membrane with
I mean, I've made strains. Like, look, you see a cobweb kind of
I
a
know, I
thing
know, I know, I know,
formed,
I see it.
but it didn't run long enough because I was actuating the syringe manually. Yes, and the needle was
Uh
charged to
I'm also
35,000 volts.
thinking if you take this syringe instead of doing it manually, you could have a diaphragm pump and a tank.
No, no, it's too viscous. You're basically pumping molasses.
Yeah, but a diaphragm pump is able to
Nope.
pump thick fluids. Like I'm talking about the
Peristaltic pump is more suitable for those kind of things. Membrane pump just
okay, so
without proper engine, and I do not have a proper engine,
uh,
you will not pump
well, yeah,
anything with a
not
diaphragm
but with a
pump.
good there are diaphragm pumps that can pump viscous fluid. Like I have read like 30s diaphragm pumps that aren't too expensive. I think it's
Yes,
gonna
but
cost around like 45 US
Octavesh, those
dollars.
pumps are hilariously big, and you cannot.
Yeah,
The
it will
thing
be
you
kind of
want to
bulky.
control, those are not controllable. Even at industrial scale, they use huge syringes because you can perfectly dose the amount of liquid you want. And with those diaphragm pumps that you're talking about,
Yeah, yeah,
they're suited for huge flow rates, and that's why they're
that
just
is
shit
true.
in that purpose. Peristaltic pumps, maybe. Syringe pumps, yes. But any other kind of a pump just sucks.
All
Also,
right.
yeah, spider web is basically the thing you're looking for. You're making tiny fibers, and because those fibers are so tiny, the sulfonation process is more controllable because you do it much faster and you just cover more surface area.
And I'm guessing you also have to press the membrane once the sulfonation is done to reduce the porosity.
I haven't gotten into that part. I've made the fibers, and that's about it.
All
And I
right.
need a better control of the process. So I'm working on, automated syringe pump and maybe voltage control as well and speed control as well. Because I was
Yeah.
just using PWM to change the speed of motor that way. The problem is, of course, mechanical resistances change and the motor will
Yep.
just jam. So I need something with what's that called? Rotational speed feedback.
Yeah.
No, I was considering using stepper motor, but stepper motor required a microcontroller, and I was too lazy to program it. That polystyrene, I literally took styrofoam, dissolved it. But okay, that is the most important piece of the whole setup. It's not the voltage, because the voltage was just Lamau flyback goes. The speed of the cylinder is not important either. The most important thing is actual how you're going to dissolve the polystyrene, because people think, oh, just use acetone, but if anybody dissolved, you know, everybody dissolved styrofoam using acetone in their lives, and it
Yeah.
does not dissolve in the liquid at all. It forms a ball. It forms a rubber. You cannot pump that rubber. So
Yeah.
acetone is not suitable solvent for that. Toluene, I've tried using toluene. It's a perfect solvent. You get a gel, but I won't go into that because we're going on dangerous territory of making not safe things. The
Ugh.
crucial thing is to use both, because if you use toluene on its own, it has 120 C boiling point,
So you won't be able
and
to
the
get
solvent is not
strings.
going
It's
to
not
evaporate.
volatile enough.
Yes, it's not going to evaporate at all, and it will just spray liquid on the cylinder, ruining everything. And acetone will not dissolve anything, so the solution is to use a lot of acetone and a bit of toluene to just make the polystyrene soluble.
Ah,
And you need that acetone because it has to evaporate before it hits the cylinder.
this sounds like a very elaborate thing for even.
You need
Uh,
a dual solvent system, otherwise it will not work. Also, I've read a paper and they use lemonette, the lemon oil, to
limonene.
dissolve it. Yeah, limonene.
You can
So the
buy
first thing I
that
wanted to
pretty
do is to get.
easily.
I wanted to buy 10 kilograms of lemons and steam distill it, and then I
Wait,
realized,
what?
hold on, it had similar properties to toluene. Basically, they were just using lemon oil because it's more eco-friendly, apparently.
Ah, makes sense.
And that's a
Isn't
bullshit
lemonade
excuse
this
in
lemon-smelling oil?
Yeah,
Is
but I'm like,
Yes.
wait, why are you gonna get it from like 10 kilograms of lemons if you can technically just buy it from the grocery
Because,
store?
listen, I drink a lot of tea with lemons,
Okay.
so I'm buying a lot of lemons every month anyway.
Oh my god, but you only get like how much limonene and the extraction is not that efficient?
Listen, I made a pulp out of all those lemons, not insides, but the lemon skins. And I have like 3 kilograms worth of lemon pulp in the freezer.
And you're just in your freezer. Like what about your food? Like you would have 10 kilograms of lemon pulp in your freezer and you're like, shit, what am I gonna eat? Oh, there's some cans over there. Fucking
No, I
not
have a huge
suspicious.
fridge.
No, I'm gonna shoot a pig and then cook it. That's what I'm gonna eat. Just hope there are any
Wait.
pigs today.
No, we have like meat shops. We don't have to put the whole pig in the freezer.
Yeah, but it just I mean, I keep food in the fridge. You know? I'm just saying.
Wait. Is Max here?
No.
Okay.
Max is not here. Do you see Max? Max ain't here. There'll be no Max over here.
No. I mean, in this server. Joel.
Oh yes, he definitely is.
Max is here.
Isn't he dead?
No.
No, not yet. I mean, okay.
Oh my god, you said yet.
Wait.
Seriously.
Oh my god.
No.
God damn
I thought
it.
it was dead because of some fucking catinone overdose.
Dude. Remember. We can't remember.
No. Is he alive? Is it actually him?
It's
That's
him.
what-
Okay, he's alive. Now let's not talk about them capybaras, okay? Please.
Demonetized.
Yeah, no
sorry.
capybaras.
Oh no! I'm just
Capybara,
surprised.
capybara, coconut doggy. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Let's learn how to make math.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my god.
So,
Yep, that's how it goes.
who wanted to buy 10 kilograms of lemons?
No, he doesn't. He didn't want to buy it. He has it.
No,
Oh my
wait. If he
God.
has 3 kilos of their skin, right? So he probably drank like 10 times that.
Yeah.
So
I'm
for how
scared.
much to go through like 50 kilos
First,
of lemon.
lemons here are
His stomach
shit and
acid is
small.
probably 1 by this point.
Listen, those lemons
pH of
are
1
shit and
now.
small, so most of the mass, well, they're half skin and half inside anyway because they're so shit in the shops. And I'm going through 2 lemons a week, approximately.
Oh my god.
2
So
lemons a
2
week.
And
lemons a
I've been
week.
collecting them for like 3 months.
Shit.
3 months.
Cheaper just to buy.
Then how the fuck do
Wait,
you
how
get
does that
50
add up
kilos?
to 10 kilograms? So 2 lemons a week
Not
in 3
10
months.
kilograms, sorry, it's like few kilograms, not 10.
Is it in a fridge or something so it doesn't get
Yes,
rancid?
it's frozen, so
Dude.
it's not going to
Are you
break
in
anything.
putting it in the fridge or the freezer? Which one?
Oh my.
Freezer. It's frozen,
Freezer.
otherwise the
Okay, that
mold
makes
wouldn't
sense.
open, you
I was
know,
gonna
and
thought
spoil
of
the
something. You know,
But
what would
the
happen? What were to
mass is
happen?
pretty compact. The mass is
Okay.
pretty compact because I pulverized it.
What
So I
if
made a brick of it.
what if I threw a piece of oyster mushroom in there and then you kept it in the fridge and like a month later you just have a white ball full of mushrooms
It's
sticking
frozen.
out?
It's
No, you just
frozen.
have a new
Nothing can
species
grow
of fungi
there.
that survive in acidic environment at this point.
Oh my
I would
god.
actually.
And it
That is pretty dangerous because the oil dissolves plastic. So theoretically, you shouldn't store it in plastic.
Oh yeah. Uh,
well
I think
yeah.
you have
It's actually
addiction
dissolved plastic.
Just get
problems.
Teflon, man. Like or just put it in a steel container.
Mate,
Steel and acid equals rust.
where the hell am I going to get Teflon bag?
You can buy a Teflon you can buy Teflon bottles, you know. Oh,
But
bag.
it's brick.
And take like 3
Uh,
kilos of fucking lemons.
Oh, okay. That's that. You can well you can technically well, to be honest, the pulp is your container for now. It's okay. You know, that kind of reminds me of a story. You know turmeric powder, right? So, in India, they sold this thing where they mix a bit of oil with turmeric or something, or it's some kind of, it was oily. It was like this sort of cakey turmeric powder, and they just put it in a regular plastic bag. Okay? I don't know if it's supposed to be like that, but let's just say that someone I know kept this bag in their spice cabinet, and within 3 months, the curcumin leached through the bag, and when you touch the outside, it has never been opened. It's coming through like pretty much extracted curcumin. And so he's like, I don't know how it went through the plastic. He's very confused.
I don't know, maybe the heat in it.
Yeah, like
Oils just sort of diffuse through polyethylene and stuff like that, as far as I can tell. Because I was trying to oil butter to make butyric acid, and it leaked through 5 bags. So
oh,
yeah, I think oils just do that. They
something
diffuse through it.
interesting about butyric acid. It's actually the main flavoring ingredient in Hershey's chocolate.
What?
Yes. In fact,
Wait, what?
without
No
it, you
way.
won't get the distinctive taste.
No way.
I'm not joking.
We have turmeric powder
Do you,
downstairs.
do you even know?
Is
I
it
love
like
cookies.
is it like pure butyric acid or like an ester or salt of it? Because
No,
pure
no,
butyric
no, no,
acid
no.
just
It's
seems sort of ridiculous.
basically pure butyric acid that they put in. Because I'll
I
tell you
guess they
how.
must have it in small amounts.
Yeah, small amounts. Basically, the reason why it even formed was, if you remember that stupid pink sauce stuff where they basically made a mistake and bacteria started growing in it. The first ever,
The milk thing?
yeah, the first ever Hershey's prototype that actually worked. Basically, the guy tried to hire chemists. They couldn't, get a good enough milk. It still tasted subpar. But this one chemist, he wasn't even a chemist. He was just some random technician who only had experience with plumbing. He got hired for the job somehow. And what he ended up doing is like, okay, we will evaporate this milk for a week at 25 degrees Celsius until it caramelizes and becomes this gunky gunk.
I like that guy.
And I kid you
He's
not.
just making cheese.
No. It was somehow it wasn't too spoiled or too bad. And so when he finally used the milk to make the prototype chocolate mix, the Hershey's guy was like, or I don't know who it was. I just watched a documentary on why Hershey's tastes like vomit to Brits or people from the UK. And he was like, wow, this tastes really good. And so it turns out that the milk spoiled while it was evaporating, but they put it in anyway. And it ended up becoming a unique, distinct, slightly sour fermented taste that you get with Hershey's, And so that's why.
Just like alcohol at this point.
No. It wasn't because of the alcohol, it was because of the butyric acid that was formed
Oh.
while evaporating the milk at 25 degrees Celsius. Or was it 35? It was basically body temperature. That's kind of cursed if you think about it. Like, if that guy was unlucky It could have been some botulinum or some fucking horrible bacteria that would make like E. coli that would just make everyone
Uh,
sick.
I don't think
I
that
don't
was.
think botulinum forms in milk.
You know,
It
I'm trying
doesn't.
my best here, okay? I don't know what forms in milk, but it could have been a lot worse. Like pink
Yeah.
sauce level worse.
Yes.
Let me just search a little bit. The level focus. Yeah, they're equalized. Yes, equalized for milk.
Oh, you know what's something interesting? I once harvested about maybe 50 pounds of turmeric once.
Damn.
Just saying.
What?
Did you actually use it for products, or did you just want to harvest it like with the
No,
coconuts?
we actually had it growing wild
Oh,
in our backyard.
damn.
I don't know, it just grew wild, and
Literally.
we just dug them out here. So we just basically gave it to a local farmer to sell,
Damn.
which we good.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
because like they were being they were becoming invasive, so we just had to like dig them out and
Oh my god,
just
imagine you like just in your backyard you have one of these like healthy fad foods and it's an invasive species and it's overrun. That will be the freaking
I
day.
don't like turmeric. I don't like turmeric very much.
I
I
don't
mean,
like it
turmeric
either.
tea
I
is
I
okay.
I don't like it just because like it stains you worse than anything.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah.
Like really,
My
like
hands or hands were like orange
Doesn't turmeric
it's
act like a
for like
pH indicator?
it does. It does. I
uh,
actually in one of my old
Yeah.
videos I used it as one. It turns red in
oh
acidic pH and I think a different color in
oh
alkaline pH.
It turns red in alkaline.
No, it turns red in acidic
hmm.
pH. I remember.
Turmeric.
Yeah,
It turns
Okay.
orange in alkali though, that's for sure, I
yeah,
think.
but it turns red in acidic pH, and that's why I always figured it kind of sucks. It's like it's a different shade of red when you go off scale. Again,
Yeah.
you have to really have good eyes. Damn, imagine colorblind people using pH
Yeah, like me.
indicators.
Like
Oh wait, I have already
You know,
seen it
like,
I would
happen.
claim to be colorblind.
listen, I know at least
I
5 chemists who are blind and use pH
no,
paper.
no. Okay, I don't claim to be colorblind, but I have trouble with colors.
Maybe
Okay,
color
remember, color
anomalous.
blindness is on a scale. It's
Yeah.
not like everybody cannot see colors at all.
You know, I've also heard about this. So you know your way around lasers and optics, right? So
Yeah.
I've heard that if you stare at blue lasers without protective glasses, it will fuck up the cones in your eye eventually. Is that true or is that some myth?
Do you want me to go
Kinda
to a
true,
lecture
yes.
about laser safety? Like, if you
Like,
don't
look, I
have
know.
to point your laser into the eye, don't do it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
I
putting
know.
chemicals on your hand.
Look, I
It's
know.
not even blue lasers, it's any laser
This
that's
is
very
a
powerful. It's very thermal.
theoretical.
Okay. I won't go into what if and all theoretical limits. I will tell you one thing: lasers that are blue that are sold on the internet are dangerous power levels, and it's not trivial to get a safe blue laser pointer. There are firms, but those lasers are so expensive, noobs won't buy them. They will just go on AliExpress, buy first a blue laser pointer, and there goes their site basically, because those laser pointers are overpowered and eye hazard.
Uh,
Oh
I,
yeah, they cram like 5-watt lasers into those
oh
things.
You
my
can
god.
buy blue laser
What?
pointers that are good,
My
but
God.
yeah, those cheap ones are not eye safe. And
Yeah,
Power has a
also,
whole rant video on those lasers.
yeah,
It's so
yeah.
hilarious.
But
remember one thing: when it comes even to eye safe lasers, the thing that saves you is your eye reflexes.
ah,
Basically, you blink before damage is done. So if
You know
you
what will save
forcefully
us?
open your eye and just shine laser in it, you will do damage even with eye safe pointers.
that's
Because the
interesting.
energy density is just crazy, and lasers excel at just breaking energy densities.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, those has welding goggles to save us.
Fuck
Just
you.
kidding, just kidding.
I'm
Listen,
gonna put.
there
I
are
know.
goggles that always work, and are I even considered in some research facilities, and they sound really stupid because it's just a VR headset with a camera.
Oh yeah, that's actually better than any laser safety
That is
goggles.
100% safety. Of course, not from class 4 lasers, but from less than class 4 lasers.
I
Because that
mean,
is basically optical isolation. Just like galvanic isolation, there you have optical isolation.
if the laser's strong enough, it'll just burn through the goggles anyways.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
not a laser you
even
wanna put your anywhere
yes.
near.
Basically, class 4 lasers are supposed to be in a box with a switch. So if you even try to open the box, it shuts down.
What's
Uh,
a class 4 laser?
Technically,
Very
class
Class
strong
4
4
laser.
laser is a
laser
laser
means,
that's capable of burning things.
yeah,
And literally
technically
burning,
any
causing a
laser
fire hazard.
above 500 milliwatts is a class 4 laser.
Because it can burn things.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this categorization just pisses me off because some lasers can burn stuff below that power limit, and some lasers, it's complicated. It's just a general guideline, basically.
Just to make one basically. But I
Yes,
honestly
because
really just
the
wanted to know
government is
about.
stupid and wants to simplify everything.
Yeah, well,
So
that's.
basically, it's basically the laser version of the NFPA diamond, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that I hate the
Yes.
NFPA
Exactly.
diamond. Like, you put certain chemicals in the same category, even if they're nowhere near as bad.
Oh yeah,
On
methanol has
example,
like a 1 in like hazardous to health. Well, ethanol has like a 2 in NFPA diamonds.
Wait,
It's
what?
just weird.
Are you
I
serious?
think I'm not sure.
That make no
You can
sense.
search it up on
There's no
Wikipedia.
way.
I
There's
know it
no
makes no
way.
sense.
Methanol.
I think I made a meme on it once on Explosion and Fire, but I don't have it, of course. But yeah, they
Let's
rated
see.
like methanol below ethanol for whatever reason.
What?
It's ridiculous.
It's real. Wait, no way. What the hell is this? It doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
NFPA isn't standardized either. It's like what the company thinks. So like it ranges a crazy amount.
I mean, technically it's called a fire diamond. So if you have a burning ethanol versus burning methanol, maybe burning methanol is, well, it's gonna burn obviously, but like it's not gonna
it's
release
not
anything
about
toxic.
burning. The fire diamond, it's not about burning.
I thought it was about
It's
burning
more
because it made no sense.
No, the fire diamond's for like firefighters who are entering a building that has a chemical, so they know what's in there. So it's just like a rough estimation.
There's a fire diamond for sand.
Well, yeah,
There's a fire diamond for everything.
If you consider fine microscopic particles of sand, that would be pretty hazardous.
Yeah, PM 2.5, I know.
But why does ethanol have 2 as health and methanol has 1? That just doesn't make any sense.
It does. It makes no sense. I have no idea either. It's just arbitrary at this point.
That's something I never noticed on how inconsistent or dumb that actually is.
Makes perfect sense.
Well, yeah, you could have a chemical that's like 444 in like the fire diamond, and then a different company gives it like a 344. It's just whatever they think it is.
I've also seen other compounds, right? That essentially
I have a danger level of 3.
yeah, that's.
I guess if you consider the addictiveness of ethanol, then maybe.
Oh, wait! I understand why ethanol is a 2. Because if a firefighter sees ethanol in a burning building, they're gonna steal it and drink it. Versus if it's methanol, they'll leave it alone. So of course they're gonna rate it higher for health.
I mean, if the firefighter is brainless alcoholic, then
it's gonna do a Jackie Chan Drunken Master 2 moment.
Listen, Octavius, most industrial alcohol is poisoned, right?
I mean, yeah, but you can't. Don't ruin my joke, okay? Come on, I know.
Some denatured alcohols, they actually have a low enough methanol content that technically you could drink it because the ethanol cancels out, but No, don't drink
Yeah,
lava.
yeah.
Don't drink lax stuff. It's not good.
I think
I
the
mean, the antidote for
tequila,
methanol is ethanol, so
was it tequila?
I'm
Tequila has the
is it
highest
real?
concentration of methanol, and it actually needs that concentration of
No,
methanol to be called
Moonshine,
tequila.
no,
moonshine.
my moonshine has the highest concentration of methanol.
Oh, wait, what? Really?
Because
Wait, what's going on? Why am I hearing radio static?
I
That's
think
me
that's
David,
Red
I
switching.
Horror
think
Lab's
he's doing
microphone.
something.
no,
I think
that's
Oh,
not me.
okay.
That's Carlos.
Carlos pooping.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
it's cool,
So
Go to
Carlos.
hashtag vent and you should know what's
when
going on.
people
But
distill
yeah,
moonshine, there is one little fact. When people distill moonshine, they have fractions called tails and heads. And the heads, of course, because it comes first from distillery, has crazy amount of methanol. But some
all my
people,
runs.
when they do moonshine, they don't throw it away, but add it to the final product because apparently it has a better taste or something like
oh
that.
my
So
Yeah,
God.
they add
I think that's why
methanol to
home
the final
distilling.
product.
I think that's why home distilling is illegal in many places because like people kept moonshining and drinking the methanol and dying, so they don't really
Oh,
want people making their
by
own
the
How
way,
alcohol
about
anymore.
your selection? Just keep it,
I
let
don't
them
know.
do it. Don't prohibit people from doing that. That's
By
stupid.
the way, Vivek, so about that turmeric thing, I now remember why it turned red in the presence of an acid, because it wasn't just turmeric. If you mix turmeric with boric acid or sodium borate, then it will turn red in the presence of an acid. I remember now. That makes it a better pH indicator, by the way.
Okay, I had this thing in mind. Is it possible to get any significant amount of benzene by passing acetylene through red hot copper?
I mean,
It
I
makes a
wouldn't do
mix of
that.
stuff as far as I can
the thing
tell,
is, it's not just
but
gonna make
it's yeah.
benzene, it's gonna make tar and all kinds of stuff. You're
You just make crude
essentially
oil.
gonna make crude oil, and just maybe like some of that is gonna be benzene.
There's
But
also the issue that it's acetylene and copper, which is just cursed.
oh yeah,
Especially if you're heating it.
copper acetylide could form here.
Yeah.
And
I think there was like an incident where like this town they piped everything with copper for their gas lines.
oh
And
god,
this was back in the days when they used acetylene and like coal gas, and the town just immediately blew up after a few days after they
shit.
run the gas because the acetylene mixed with the copper had accumulated. And yeah, I don't. It's not a good idea to mix those two.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That sounds extremely bad.
Also, wouldn't that make benzene too? Or is other catalyst used for that process?
Dude, imagine it.
I think.
Imagine if
I
I
think
say
anything would work.
if you use silver and copper together.
I actually that's very gross. But apparently silver acetylide, the dye salt, is actually less sensitive. But I'm not going into that territory.
No, let's not talk about this
Into
stuff.
explosives again, for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
we're talking about capybaras again. Let's stop this. No capybaras.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I think I have actually accidentally made benzene from orange juice.
From orange juice? What?
Oh my
I mean,
god!
the
Wow.
fact that I actually use orange juice and then I just mix things around because I didn't know what the fuck. What I was
Wait.
doing,
How
and
would you
then
make
it started to
benzene
smell
from?
like gasolines and
Well,
stuff.
that's probably limonene, not benzene.
Yeah, it's probably limonene, or like maybe he burned it and then pyrolyzed the benzene. But burning stuff makes benzene anyways.
I mean,
No, like
I think that's kind of what I made.
I think it's
I don't
limonene.
think- Yeah, it's limonene. It has similar structures, a terpentine type of a thing. You cannot
it
make
smelled like
benzene out of that
gasoline
easily.
and it
Yeah,
smelled
yeah,
like
limonene
That's limonene.
with
It
burnt
smells
tar.
sort of
It
like
also can smell like gasoline, actually.
Like, you're not going to make benzene from oranges, even if you pyrolyze it. There's too much water.
Oh, speaking of something of limonene, right? You know that there are actually two forms of limonene, L and D limonene. One of them smells like lemon and one of them smells like orange. Okay, so in Southeast Asia, there's this orange that's two
The big one,
times as
right?
sour as a lemon, but yet the fruit on it smell as if they taste sweet. But the moment you,
Green
you
one, right?
the
Sounds
moment
like a mango to
the
me.
moment you take one, your face just implodes. It's hilarious.
I mean, I live in Southeast Asia, but I'm not
I'm
very
talking about
familiar with.
calamondins.
Uh,
You heard of them? They're
That
like these
fruit that
tiny
changes the taste.
green lemon looking things that smell like oranges. They're about the size of your thumb. They can get a bit bigger
Yeah,
than
we
that
sounds
if you
like a
let them.
lime.
we
It's not
actually
a
have
lime.
those
It's
here
not a
too.
lime. It
Yeah,
specifically is
Aren't
a species. It's specifically an orange. It's classified as an orange.
aren't those fruits that change your perception of sweetness into sourness and
No,
sourness into sweetness?
no. It's not a miracle berry. It's an orange that's twice as sour as a lemon. It's the only orange
What's
that's
a
very
species here?
sour.
I actually have it here in
Wait,
Trinidad.
you have
Oh,
calamondins?
calamon.
We
Oh,
do, yeah.
calamondin lemon.
Oh my god.
It's pretty rare though.
It
Like I've
it
seen it only
it
like
tastes
twice
really good,
in
by
my
the way.
life.
You make lemonade out of that, or orangeade, whatever the hell you call it. It's really good.
Mhm.
It's also good for putting
Oh,
on
that.
meat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had that before.
See?
Like,
I
a
knew it.
lot, actually.
It's very popular in Southeast Asia. It's the only orange that's very spicy, or sour. Not spicy,
Mm-hmm.
sour. It's so traumatizing. I called it spicy.
Eh,
So, this week, for some reason, I got obsessed with looking up ways to prepare puffer fish, even though I will never do it. I was just curious. I got surprised. It's not only Japan that likes to eat a lot of puffer fish, but
oh,
apparently
yeah. Everyone would have liked
in
it.
in USA, in Florida, they do this a lot. You'd be
Oh,
apparently there's a lot of people that end up eating puffer fish there, and yes, they're just as toxic as the ones you find in Japan. But a little bit of redneck cooking won't solve that. Will solve that. You just be like,
yeah.
you just take your pliers and your knife and you pull, and you don't puncture the organs. You can eat it.
When you hear Florida, you're gonna hear something bad or something. I don't know.
No, I'm actually curious. I want to eat one now.
Sodium channel blocker. I can't remember. I think it's an sodium channel blocker, right?
Yeah,
TTX.
yeah, TTX. But what's funny is now there's also this other puffer fish known as the porcupine fish. Now in Japan, the porcupine fishes in Japan have a different diet such that all of the organs are edible, including the liver. But porcupine fish found in Australia, it's the same species, by the way. In Australia and India, because they have a slightly different diet, they're not edible at all except for the flesh. You'd have to essentially treat them like other puffer fish,
Isn't
aka
that
That's
the
because
same
they
with the
eat like
frogs?
the dino fragments, or how would you pronounce
yeah,
that? Like
it's basically the diet of the fish.
the
Like
bacteria,
yeah,
the bacteria that eat is the one producing the toxins. So
yeah.
if the fish doesn't eat any of the toxin producing bacteria, then it's fine.
Yeah, it turns out that the porcupine fish that live off the Sea of Japan are completely okay to eat, including the liver. But any other porcupine fish found in any other region is not edible. Like not at all. You can eat the flesh. In fact, if you're dealing with puffer fish, that's the safest bet. But there are some puffer fish where even the flesh is toxic. That's
Is
And
it
why.
like
that's the one where the dino fragment concentration is high.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really great toxin like the okadai toxin, like
Yeah.
the shellfish toxin. There's a lot of
Yeah,
them.
there are also some puffers that contain both TTX and saxitoxin. And
The
those,
toxin is just a really bad thing.
yeah, those are not edible
I think
either.
that's the one that I think that's the one that causing the amnesia shellfish toxin.
Yeah.
because I believe saxitoxin is also a nerve agent.
Yeah,
Or what is
all
it?
of these are horrible. And guess what also can contain saxitoxin? The puffers from Florida. Some specimens were found with saxitoxin as well. Kind of
Yeah,
sucks,
that's
you know.
horrifying.
But the question is,
You know, they
does it accumulate in the liver only, or is saxitoxin present throughout the contaminated fish?
I don't know. Looking at it, it looked like fairly like hydrophilic. So I wouldn't expect it to be to accumulate in like the fats or something. It looks fairly hydrophilic.
Oh shit. Okay. Basically, if the puffer has saxitoxin, you basically lost Russian roulette right there. That's what basically you're saying based on it being hydrophilic. Damn, that sucks. That really sucks. That's like, you know. Damn, I wanted to
So I think
try
it
some
accumulates the
puffers.
fat. Do you know the domoic acid, and the kynic acid?
What
They are the neurotoxic surface progeny, like also the bacteria, like the domoic and kynic
yeah.
and okadite.
Yeah.
They're all glutamate analog, so they cause excitotoxicity
Oh
and
shit.
cause seizures.
That sucks. Goddamn, why do marine animals always have to come up with the worst ways to kill a man?
You're
Well,
forgetting about
Because we evolved
frogs.
that
if you
way.
want to, if you want to see even weirder ways, you can look up like polytoxin and mycotoxin.
Oh yeah, well mushrooms. Never mind. Mushrooms are pretty bad too.
Also
Okay.
frogs, toxic frogs. You
Yeah,
told
but you
That's
don't eat
that robotic.
those.
Listen,
like they are
they actually caught.
the biggest non-protein toxin ever. That's like
Uh,
160 carbons in one molecule, and it's not a protein.
so they caught those toxic frogs and they basically made them copulate in labs, and the offspring that lived in the labs were not toxic because, well, their toxicity comes from the diet as well.
Yeah, it's
So
most.
theoretically, you can eat them as well. Just
I
use as
mean,
a,
they're too small,
raise them
man.
in the labs.
They're too small. There isn't any meat on them. But you know, box
Well, tell
jellyfish.
that to the French.
Yeah. No, no, no. But that's a big frog. That's okay. But box jellyfish, by the way, surprising to be the most venomous, invertebrate
Like that
ever,
one.
right?
Be- be- um,
You can actually
the
eat them and they taste really good. Like the tentacles. If you take the box jellyfish tentacles, you you let them marinate in vinegar for a little bit and then you boil them. They make really good noodles because they're
yeah,
like
because the protein, the venom is a protein that denature easily.
yeah. So it's actually edible. But not all
That is
protein-based toxins are safe to consume. If you've heard of what's it called of ricin and abrin, these things are
right.
protein-based, but
And
they
actually, rice are actually a lot less toxic when eaten. Like eaten, it's a lot less toxic when eaten compared to like if you inject it because the gastric enzyme can actually digest the rice a
yeah.
little bit.
But
It
not
can
abrin,
it can
not
clean the
abrin
system.
though, not abrin. Abrin is more potent. That even if you ingest it, it's like it will still kill you, basically.
No, no, I mean I noticed the kill you like it's just less horrible. Like when you
That's still
inject it,
horrible,
it's like
yes.
super horrible, and if you swallow it, it's just super horrible. You can clean some of it, but it's still too much. Actually, you know what? Rice and a lot of grains like rice and rye and stuff actually have the toxic chain of resin. They have it.
Wait, what? Rice has
Yeah.
ricin.
Ricin has two chains, chain A and chain B connected by a disulfide. Chain A is the toxic one, and chain B is a lectin. It binds the sugar in the surface of the cell. So you have to have chain B so that chain A can come into the cell and destroy the ribosome.
Oh, damn.
So rice
Uh,
and rye and a lot of grains have the super toxic ribosome destroying chain A, but they don't have the chain B, so it's safe.
don't forget about potatoes. They can be toxic as well.
Green potatoes, to be
Yeah,
specific.
don't
Yeah,
bring
so
potatoes in the light, is what they say.
What?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
solanine.
Potatoes
Um,
sounds
Really?
everybody
okay.
can.
there's a
Is
case
Actually,
that
where
true?
oh,
there's a case where German soldiers they ate like rotten potatoes and they all got sick because of solanine. So don't eat raw potatoes or like bad
Yeah.
so I
potatoes.
need.
Wow.
I just see
Oh,
Actually,
I just see
what?
Paulie
What's so
Gorg,
interesting
what's it called? He's
is,
complaining about your hot plate being dirty.
uh,
I'm just
I
watching.
mean,
I don't
it's
know
like
about my hot
copper and
plate being
stuff
dirty.
on it, and it arrived like that because I bought a broken hot plate and I'm using element from it. But
Ah, that's fine.
I think
Like that's no problem.
you could use hydrogen fluoride to clean it.
I am not going to
But I mean,
use.
hydrofluoric acid.
I have sort
Just
of HF. I'm not going to use it. I
just
tried the nitric acid, but it didn't work.
mix the best cleaning solution ever. A little bit of vinegar and sodium fluoride. It also whitens the teeth. No, don't do this, by the way. It's a joke.
Wait, really?
No, no, don't,
No,
don't,
Isn't that like
No, no, no,
don't.
no,
very
no.
safe.
I'm speaking
doesn't
about cleaning hot
doesn't
plates,
that
but
make like acetyl fluoride or something?
No, no, it
yeah.
doesn't. It actually just
Then
makes
why do you have to be a buzzkill?
HF because you know
Oh
it,
right, yeah. It's weak. It's
it's
weak
weak.
acid.
It's a weak acid, but it's all glass.
That's cursed.
It's
Well,
actually a
also,
very weak acid, so much so that vinegar can deprotonate sodium fluoride and form a solution of HF and sodium acetate. And to prove that,
also you can
Yeah.
basically add, you can
like
even
around
prove it by
300 grams of sodium
straight up
fluoride.
adding a piece of glass onto a mixture of like acetic acid and sodium fluoride. But if you really dare, but don't do it because you don't gotta know that that's a bad idea.
Oh yeah,
Especially it's not
it's just a bad idea.
Like
Um,
I still think that sodium fluoride is very important for dissolving titanium. Like it's
you
required
gave me about
almost.
300 grams of it.
Yeah, I mean it's actually very important. Like without it, it's gonna take like 2 days in oxalic acid at 80 Celsius to dissolve. Versus with NAF, it's gonna take like what 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
Oh,
still need
also,
it.
an interesting thing about
Like
castor
what?
beans is
Like
that they grow
what are you
wild.
dissolving?
sodium fluoride is used to trace the amount of radiation.
Just to produce HF, I guess, in
Yeah, yeah.
solution.
Just to break down the titanium dioxide so that you can use it.
well,
Oh,
making
yeah.
stuff in
I
situ
I
is
actually
much
wonder why
safer.
the refractory oxides are also like really hard to dissolve. The refractory ones. I wonder what's special about those metals.
Oh, you said the keyword. You activated my trap card.
What is the trap
Yeah.
card? Let's go.
Yeah, I know things about refractory cements because I've made one myself.
I inhaled a
Oh.
bunch of glass. I remember that.
Wow.
No, I didn't.
It was
What the hell you're all
You're
on?
gonna
soluble.
get your ultra microscopic silicon
It
volcanic
was a
radiation.
soluble form of silica. I know. I was kidding.
Wasn't
I
it
So,
like
don't have silane, for fuck's sake. I was actually making refractory cement myself because all those mixes you can buy are all
Uh,
either shit
I
or
just remember
expensive.
you grinding a bunch of precipitated silicon dioxide
Yes.
with phosphoric acid, and you were coughing like a madman, like a chain
No,
smoker.
I was not coughing. Coughing was probably caused by something else. Yeah, it was caused by something else. Probably, I'm not going to say about that, but it was
Oh
definitely
my
not because
god.
of the silica.
All
you
right,
should
fine.
invest in 100 mask. It's really useful.
But I have a mask. Trust me. Like I'm doing my due diligence
Dude,
to
you were
not harm anybody.
smoking glass, man, and I don't mean the
I was
drug.
not smoking glass. I
Uh,
melted
that's a
steel.
really
So
fine silica stuff
If
is
it's
really
molten
tough
glass,
in the
you get the
level.
how
longest biological name in the entire world.
My
why
guy
did I make
was
the steel
lines of
melting
glass.
surface furnace? Because Actavish was making electrodes, so I decided to make electrodes as well because steam nails happened, and I wanted to improve upon it. So I needed to make better magnetite electrodes.
Yeah, I remember this.
Accidentally made the furnace too hot, melted the bloody electrode made from steel. But yeah, I'm trying to make magnetite electrodes because I hate lead. I love lead solder. I hate lead chemistry.
I found the alternative already. That's indium tin oxide,
I have indium, and you know it.
Yeah, I know, and you also have tin, and instead you could just make tin tetrachloride pentahydrate by nitric acid.
But the problem, indium is rare, and if I were to make magnetite,
You can use cerium or antimony as well instead of indium.
Listen, the main advantage of a magnetite electrode is it's benign. You can basically bloody lick it, and you can make it in tons, basically.
I still don't like the limit of 30 milliamps.
It does not have the potential you told me about, so it's not good for perchlorates. But for general chlorates, it should be fine.
I mean, if you want to run 30 MA per centimeter squared, sure.
Listen, I was running my nail amperes per centimeter square, and you remember.
Yeah, but that it mostly evolved oxygen, which is wasting a lot of energy. I mean, it still worked.
Well,
I won't deny that was an amazing thing I've seen.
2 amperes per square centimeter, Lamau. I oxidized magnetite to iron-free oxide on the surface.
Yeah, means you're clearly running it too hot.
Like that was
oxidize things using H2O2.
Oh my god.
Like I'm pretty sure if I were to dope it, and I'm working on doping it, we could invent a new type of electrode and maybe make a research paper about it.
I mean, yeah, if we can get it to survive,
How about iron indium?
I mean, it will all depend on whether or not the electrode is, can work at, essentially it should not dissolve at whatever current density. I mean, it should have at least a good range.
Well, I have no idea how the chemistry works in electrodes because it involves crystallography and stuff.
The main problem with the electrodes is that the substrate layer or has to be something which passivates.
Well, it's going to be magnetite.
Yeah, but like you're gonna have iron at the very as the actual metal substrate.
Listen, the first steam nails failed because they were porous. If you can make a perfect surface, it's not going to matter.
I mean, technically, none of the commercial electrodes have such a perfect surface. That just simply doesn't exist in.
If the electrode breaks, you just make another one because they're so cheap.
I mean, sure. I guess maybe
also, if you put a lot of electrodes in a tank, then you can make the product before the thing just destroys itself.
Well, I mean,
wouldn't it be better to spend a bit more effort and money to make something that'll last forever rather than replacing it every month?
I hate lead.
You don't need lead.
Okay.
You can use tin and antimony or
they're
cerium.
Expensive. That's even worse than being toxic.
So you just buy antimony and then just extract tin from your solder.
I'm not planning on doing anything that might contain lead. Like I solder using leaded solder, but I wash my hands like 30 times a day. And I'm not going to do any electrochemistry with lead because lead salts are not something I can dispose of easily.
I just contaminated my entire workshop with lead just with this one electrolysis project.
I tried, by the way, the sensitivity of phosphorus mixed with lead nitrate. It isn't that sensitive, but it still makes a pretty nice bang.
We are not talking about capybaras.
Yeah.
No boom booms.
No capybaras, please.
Capybara?
I mean,
Capybara!
really
Coconut doggy, oh my gosh.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we got two anime voices in here. We need more. Come on, Edward.
Oh,
Let voice train.
Good.
Come on.
You invite Cobb.
oh.
Wait. Can he actually?
Well, he can do woo woo.
Was that a joke or did he actually?
No, he actually went on voice chat to say woo, and I think his voice would be pretty great for it.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Ah, I'm not warmed up.
What do you What do you think of my fire?
Your fire, I'm saying that's plasma giving off its electron and proton and
Oh
instantly
my
getting
god,
into
and
another molecule.
we have a nerd. It's a nice fire. It's
Your
an old
fire is
fireplace.
hot.
I like it.
It's very it's incandescent particles, not quantum stuff.
Yeah. Let's not talk about black body radiation or instantaneous excitation and releasing of a photon proportional to the fucking I don't fucking know anymore. Let's screw it.
Oh,
I do
another
like
thing.
fire. It looks nice.
Another thing I
Very
wanted to
wholesome.
make. Let's make a spectroscopy machine from the shit I can pull from the printer. That's
What?
another idea.
Wait, what? Can you actually make a spectrometer using a printer? What can what?
Yes, yeah.
You know
You
the
can do a
scanner on top, right?
well, not
You
a
know the
printer,
scanner
but you
on
can
top,
use
Octapash?
the linear CCD
Yes.
from the scanner head and the
Oh.
diffraction grating.
Okay.
I have a question. Does anybody have a link to the Hackaday website where they were basically driving those things? Because I forgot the link for it, and I have
Yeah,
to
it sucks.
Speaking
It
of
sucks.
printer,
Don't even look for it.
you know,
for it.
Give
I
me
have
the
linear
link. I want to
CCD,
try.
but I can't use it because the tutorial's actually not that good.
Okay. You know the laser printers, right? They
Listen,
could.
I want the link, not because I'm going to use it fully. I just want a hint how to drive it because I don't want to start from scratch.
I need to look it up myself. I'm sorry.
Thanks.
By the
If
way,
anybody has.
do you know the what do you call that? Those laser printer toner cartridges, right? Do they actually have a usable diode in them that you can use?
You're talking about the toners.
The
Toners
cartridges.
themselves, I never tore down a cartridge because they're messy.
Some people claim that there is a laser diode in there, but what wavelength would
No,
it be?
laser diode is not in the toner cartridge. It's in the module that shoots on the cylinder to not ionize it, reverse ionize it.
So
it's in the whole. It's part of the whole printer, not just the.
so it's not in the cartridge.
I have 3 of those modules.
No, it's not. And there's a mirror that spins, and then
Oh.
the diode. I think the diode itself has some decent power, actually.
Because I'm like,
Yeah,
these
but-
cartridges cost a lot. Do they have there are diodes in them?
No, the cartridges themselves do not have diodes. The printer has the laser diode inside of it.
Yeah, because I was like, didn't make sense to fucking just keep throwing these out every.
The only thing that those toner cartridges have is tiny chip, so you have to buy the original cartridges.
Or you
otherwise
can
you're
just
fucked because there's
transplant the chip, which is what I do.
Yes, the DRM.
It just fits in another one. Except my laser printer had a firmware update so that every time you connect the printer to the internet, it will break the printer's thing where now you have to just shut off your Wi-Fi, then run the printer, then disconnect it to
What
make
the
it work.
fuck? Why?
I don't know. Ask HP. Ask fucking
I
HP.
knew it had to be HP. That happens to me as well.
That's
I wish
fucking
there was
retarded.
open source printer actually. Like printers kind of fully open source you could buy.
Dude, Manny, work on that.
Actually, not like a good idea.
Dude, imagine we.
What?
I'm joking. Okay, it was meant to
I
be a
didn't
joke.
understand, but okay.
Wait, it's a real fire, Ego-chan?
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, it is.
Oh, cool.
What are you using anyway?
Dude, throw some.
It is called wood.
Dude, throw some sparklers in there.
I actually yesterday threw a box in it open, and it generated a whole lot of carbon monoxide, and I became all nauseous and lightheaded.
Dude, that's a bad idea. Okay, never mind what I said.
Yeah. I was finding out that it is quite hot. Like,
And I
Yeah,
remember
it's
Yeah.
fine.
somebody. Okay, you know how some people put barium. Okay, this is a horrible camping trip. Some guy tried to be cool, adding barium and strontium to the flame while they were grilling
Eh,
meat
Why?
because they wanted to grill with colored fire.
okay,
And
yeah,
and
that makes sense.
Why?
You also get
Why
colored
barium?
stomach as well.
no, no, no.
Why not?
But
Why
barium is
not
pretty
boron?
toxic, right? Like if you
Yeah, but
Yeah,
why not boron?
Is.
Why
you
barium?
get colored
Actually,
fire,
low
but you
doses
also
of
get colored
barium
stomach
poisoning
as well.
will
Yeah.
I just
Barium
a
is
low
like
remember.
the
level of barium poisoning will actually increase your muscle strength.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Dude.
hold on.
So
How?
so these
I'm gonna
guys
talk.
actually are onto something.
Maybe
What's
it
your
was
stack?
a bodybuilder. I don't know.
Is that for real, or are you just trying to pull my leg and come up with some elaborate?
Okay, I'm disclaimer. I read that
Just
once when I was like 14, so it's not confirmed, but I heard it.
From
okay, guys.
who?
This is
I
a
heard it
drill.
from Wikipedia. Like somebody might have put a troll
Dude,
there, but
there's no
I read it on
freaking way
Wikipedia.
that you become a Giga Chad by dosing yourself with barium.
Well, there's one poisoning that will make you stronger if you inject yourself with adrenaline.
Well, that's just being a druggie. That's literally every single drug that does stuff like that. What am I
oh,
hearing?
yeah.
Drilling.
Oh, my phone case is melting because it's so hot here.
Oh my.
Oh
Okay,
my
yeah.
god. What?
So no, this is
Radiation chest.
yeah, no, it's a bit farther away, but I'm sitting like 1 meter behind my phone, and it's still so hot here.
You know why they put glass in to block the fires out?
Why?
I kind of wonder
In order
what
to contain
Nah.
the heat inside and not push too much heat outside.
He's doing it caveman
They have an
style or a medieval style. Let them have his man cave. That
So here it is. They don't have a source
I
attached to
I,
it.
I would
So
have like a
low
nice
dose of barium
line
ions
with it.
act as a muscle stimulant.
wait, it does. It
Oh,
actually works.
rubidium ions act as a stimulant too. Once in your body, it's very weird. Just like lithium acts on your
And somehow lithium
glutamate.
stabilizes your mood. That's what I heard.
That seems very weird.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
but
lithium,
it's
yes.
not useful for less mood. I don't even think we even know how lithium works really, but it works. So.
Oh my
Lithium
god.
carbonate is a prescription drug for bipolar disorder.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure
Okay,
anyone
so
knows how lithium
the,
works.
the
Okay,
first guy
so
tried to use
if
lithium citrate.
if ever I'm getting bipolar disorder, I just have to crack an old phone battery and inhale, right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I
joking.
love eating cobalt. Delicious.
Oh.
Wait, don't
you
you
die
get
already
cobalt
if
in
something
the
like that.
I will
You know,
not do
actually,
it.
when you have,
I just wanted to
when
make
you
a
have
joke.
uh,
I
when
love
you have
eating.
bipolar disorder, I think it's more economical to just buy 100 grams lithium carbonate on some chemical
Or just
shop than to just get them.
or you could go to you
Probably
could
get
go
it
to a
that way.
grocery and buy an energizer battery and
Oh, I
toss it
think
into water.
now
in
Red
general.
did that.
You
I
know,
think now
you can just go to a ceramic shop, like a ceramic coloring shop, and buy the lithium carbonate by the little pounds. You can buy a few pounds with.
But they
Like
might be
lithium carbonate.
contaminated.
Dude, I'd rather
Like
trust
a ceramic,
Energizer than
a
some
ceramic
random
shop.
shop. At least it's pure
No,
metal.
It is for ceramic
don't
coloring. By the way.
eat batteries,
You can
please.
buy lithium carbonate by the pounds.
In the Walmart I've been to, they've actually locked the lithium energizer batteries behind like a wall. You have to be like 21 or to buy
Wait,
them.
what? Why?
Why?
I think it might be due to like the shake and bake thing happening still. But
Oh,
it's weird, yeah.
sulfated
Even the ether, like starting
electrons.
fluid as well. See, starting
Did,
fluid,
did
methanol.
anyone actually like swallow a battery? Did
But
anyone ever
why
swallow a
below
battery?
21 years old? It's not like
It's not gonna
Charlie
change
Sheen is still
anything.
second.
That means
It's
that
not like a 14-year-old is gonna do shake and bake.
No, listen,
Yeah, it's
listen.
literally not gonna do anything.
We are
but-
going into the dangerous territory again. I can tell
okay,
you
no
that
more
the flowering egg
capybaras.
is prohibited in your castle
Yeah.
until you're
I
18
don't think
years
that's
old.
right because wouldn't they need lithium batteries for like certain toys? Because I know some toys that don't run.
I mean, you
without
can
those
still
batteries.
use plain AA batteries, like.
Yeah, but I know, like if you look at it from the other side, like if you don't lock those batteries away, you're gonna have like on the streets a better, less toxic product, which is better for your population, I guess.
What?
I mean, I'm just gonna buy pure lithium metal from eBay anyways, so there's no point in them locking it away.
Pure lithium battery.
Really, lithium carbonate can be bought by the pounds at the ceramic store, so.
The issue is I don't have any near me.
From your fire.
Hey Neru, can you like make lithium with electrochem?
Yes, you can. There's actually a video of that. You can actually electrolyze, I believe, was it lithium chloride or lithium hydroxide at a fairly low
Molten
temperature.
lithium chloride.
Yeah, mixed with
Molten lithium
mixed with
chloride.
potassium chloride or something just to lower the melting point. And it actually will produce lithium and not potassium metal.
And then what? Just a lithium metal will float to the top?
No, it
Yeah,
will
like-
stick.
sort of like-
It will stick to your electrode. Actually, it
But
won't
you
float.
need to flush it with argon.
No, you don't. No, you
Oh.
don't. No, you don't. I've seen the video. You don't have to
Air
because
does not oxidize it, though?
it does,
I
but
think it's
it seems very dangerous.
It's being constantly reduced, so I think it. I
Yeah.
think the oxygen should do much. And it's
As-
also coated with lithium chloride, so.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think if anything, it passivates.
I would
Yeah,
assume
like
it's similar to.
300C salt electrolysis does not sound safe.
I mean, I've done like NOH electrolysis before, you know,
I'm-
evaporating dish
I
with like
hate-
2 screwdrivers.
I hate the NaOH
yeah, I've done that too.
electrolysis. I'll be honest. I
Caster
just
is just no.
I just
I don't like it. It
fucking
blew up
hate
once.
it. Like that's the problem. Like the only way to not make it blow up is to use a graphite electrode. But if you use a graphite electrode, the maximum yield you can get is 50% because instead you produce carbonate at the anode, which has a higher melting point, slowly caking or bricking your entire electrolyte. But at least it
Oh no,
doesn't
the issue.
explode.
The issue I had was letting it cool down and then melting it and then immediately running the current without letting it melt fully first. So like trapped
Oh
hydrogen
my
just blew up.
god. Yeah, that's also
The process is
pretty
horrifying.
bad.
I don't like it. It's just cursed.
The good.
I mean, if you could design a good cell, I guess it's
I have
safe-ish,
idea.
but nah.
I have
Oh
an
no,
idea.
so you make us a
I
good
have
Kastner
a-
cell. Come on,
I
you,
have
you,
a-
I believe in
the
you.
flow cell. Flow cell.
Wait,
I mean, there's someone already doing something similar. Illicit Systems on YouTube. He's making an automatic Kastner cell that like automatically siphons the sodium out.
one question:
like a
what
flow.
kind of glue do they put to literally hold in hot molten NaOH? Because there's no fucking glue available. I know that can hold it. The most epoxy.
Oh no, he just used
no.
used aluminum and just like soldered it together. Because aluminum passivates into sodium aluminate, which doesn't corrode further. Which is
Yeah, I
quite
know
interesting, I
that,
guess.
but you can't just solder it. You have to braze it or something because I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I think it was either braised or.
But if you
somehow
braze
welded. I
it,
don't know.
if you braze it,
I'll
then
do-
it will make a solid
I'll
connection
do-
with the. How did he braze it without it forming a solid connection with the thing below? You can't
I
because
think
it would short out. How did he do it?
no, he was using 2 separate electrodes as far as I can tell, so they aren't touching the actual cell itself.
Ah,
He has his first ever video was like his own it was like a large milled aluminum cell, but apparently it melted because he left it in the rain. But so he's working on Kastner again because it's cool.
You guys saw the video where this guy made potassium using aluminum and sodium hydroxide. Well, potassium hydroxide.
Didn't Nighthawk and Light do that?
No, it had someone else who did it. Some Austrian chemist is his channel name.
Oh yeah, him.
yeah.
Potassium, like that. So I think I would go with that route personally, but I kind of want to make.
I still think the best route is the nerd rage process to make sodium and potassium, honestly.
Magnesium is
I've
still
heard some people had issues with that method with the sodium and potassium not coagulating. I think
Okay,
it was either corrosive chem or someone else. They just didn't use menthol at all. They just mixed magnesium powder and potassium hydroxide and heated it to hell.
well, yeah, that's
well,
that's a different thing. That's the one where you have to set it on fire. The menthol is the one I'm talking about. The thing with
Oh
that
no,
though is you
mhm.
have to make sure
he,
that air doesn't get in while it's running.
I don't know, the one I was
And also
talking
potassium
about, he ran it in a
comes with
flask
kerosene.
with kerosene and mineral oil as the
That
solvent,
doesn't
and
work. That doesn't work because
Oh, that was
I'll try
BDX
to I'll
labs.
find it and I'll link
no,
it
no, no.
here.
The
But
reason
I
why
think
it
that's
That's
doesn't
pretty
BDX.
work
standard.
is because kerosene, like according to Nerd Rage, anything which contains alkenes is not compatible with the process. It has to be fully hydrogenated. And kerosene contains alkenes. That's also why he said you have to use hypoallergenic baby oil because it's
I guess
free
that's
from
why they call it
alkenes.
kerosene. Oh my god.
Oh, look how nice it burns.
Um,
Yeah,
That
that's
just
why
makes it harder.
I think that's why he has spent a good deal of time trying to like
that's
hydrogenate like
you
in a law.
should put in more wood. Wait, actually, that is
Like,
pretty hot. Like you could see,
Yeah, I can
the
see
in
how
the
much
air.
light there is. How much light there
Uh,
is against
I'm
with the
actually
heat.
thinking if you put something other than wood that isn't too cursed, like what if you just put tons of charcoal and just start grilling in your fireplace, start cooking some
Charcoals
fish.
are pretty dry, so yeah,
I don't think it's that it's gonna be very healthy because there's a lot of like shit flying up.
Ah,
Well, you gotta make sure
okay,
that
okay.
draws
Do
away all the ash, and then
you
you
have
can
to
use
wrap it in
you
aluminum
can
then?
put any
fan
heat
on it.
to
So
grill.
what you can do is you can just put a stone in it and then just grill on the stove,
Or
just like cave.
oh yeah, or you can
I
also
guess
just
that's
bake
you can do that. That's the
potatoes,
caveman way.
right? You just bake potatoes, toss them in, and then they're completely fine once you shave them a little.
Oh yeah, you can throw
I think this
shells
will
in there.
melt aluminum. Like this fire is so hot it will melt aluminum.
Yeah, it will melt aluminum. If you put it directly on the fire.
Oh my god, imagine potatoes with like fucking encased in molten aluminum.
You can throw eggshells in there and make some calcium oxide.
Oh yeah. Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you do some
Yeah,
chemistry while
turn
you're
calcium carbonate into calcium
Oh,
oxide. And
am I gonna throw an egg in there?
I was
Maybe
throw-
so, I
no,
out of
I
date.
mean eggshells.
throw some
Oh,
eggshells, some seashells, some shells, some
Yeah, so
bones.
as long as it's shell.
Okay, wait.
You can even make motor in
Let me get that. Wait then.
Nana, you know what the
I was
best
joking
fuel is? 10 kilograms of orange pulp.
I was joking about like obligatory cyanamide synthesis in the fire.
Oh
earlier.
no. That would be cursed.
Yeah.
Wait. Is there a risk of
That's
poisoning
ammonia.
if you made calcium
Yeah, that's-
like okay, so calcium oxide, right? It's a base, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're and then you have charcoal in your fire and then you take a piss on it and you have urea plus calcium oxide and charcoal. Is there any risk that you end up gassing yourself with those products?
I mean,
I don't think.
The cyanamide
I think
synthesis is
it's
calcium oxide and urea, so
did.
I don't think it should be likely. I think Chemplayer they tested like putting sodium metal into molten urea, and it didn't make any cyanide they could detect. So I don't think it's likely that this will make
Yeah.
cyanide either.
Yeah.
Probably would produce ammonia because I kinda when I was younger I urinated on a campfire to put it out, and it smelled very strongly of ammonia.
Yeah, that's most likely what would
Yeah.
happen.
So you
the
won't end up
alkali
making cyanide, you just make ammonia.
goddamn piss gas.
Until you start eating the charcoals after you're done. Then there's a chance.
Start lagging or am I lagging?
Here's a funny story, right? So there was a camp, right? And normally this camp, well, some camps we go to doesn't have any you well, trying to say this in a nice way. It doesn't have any toilets, right? So some people have to dig a hole to relieve themselves, okay? So some guy found a hole and that was apparently someone else's pooping hole and he lit a fire in that hole. And when he was cooking his soup, it
What
smelled
the? You know what happened?
smelled really bad.
I just
God.
only
For the cameras.
Yeah. And he he was saying, "Oh my, what the hell is that?"
my iPhone gave a warning. Your iPhone is too.
Yeah, he just
Yeah, I
realized
was
he
telling
lit
you.
himself something hole.
Look at this. I sent it in the
Yeah.
chat.
Your
Yeah,
phone is too
temperature.
hot.
That's not small.
Yeah,
Oh
my
my
Just
my.
god.
my
There
temperature.
was one time where I was recording like me boiling off some water and my phone got too hot. And yeah, it stopped recording. I was like, why is it
So,
stopped? And it's a temperature
look,
My
warning.
phone,
my
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 phone
phone
was
got
at
burned.
60 degrees Celsius because I was supercharging it while watching a HD video under a pillow, and it didn't do shit.
I actually got to overheat once by just being outside in the sun.
Ah, yeah. Well, he
Listen,
lives
my
in.
phone was
Were you in Death
so hot
Valley
it
or
was
something?
nearly burning my hand.
Okay, but we got some egg,
Oh,
so let's turn it into calcium oxide, shouldn't we?
By the way, it'll smell very horrible for the first few minutes of cooking, but if your
It's
fire has enough
calcium
draft, it should be fine.
You know, you could probably distill ECM in California just by having it out in.
Oh no, I recorded like 36 degrees, so I could definitely. So ether would boil at room temperature even. But
Oh,
luckily summer's over. So
Huh.
yeah.
wait,
Oh, the
so
tanks
it's
are just
winter right now.
so hot too. Okay,
Yeah, I was telling
well, here's an egg.
Wait, so there's
you.
summer, then winter, then fall,
There we go.
Don't put your phone too
spring.
close to that. You're just gonna burn your own phone.
Yeah, my phone case is already burned. And melted.
Seriously.
You don't want to destroy your phone that you're currently calling on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Then we won't be able to do anything. And it's gonna be shiz.
I'm gonna cool down my phone now, and I'll give you an update when something interesting happens.
Yeah,
Put like a
Okay.
blower
maybe
in there.
some, ice and some towel, maybe.
Yeah, I've got a cold pack which you can make like wine bottles cold with.
Just make sure to use some towel so it doesn't get wet to your phone or something.
I thought that was a marshmallow. It's an eggshell. Damn it! I would roast
Yeah, it was
marshmallows
eggshell.
right now.
You said it was eggshells.
Damn, I feel
The
betrayed.
eggshell exploded.
Okay, next time
Play
marshmallows.
water.
Let's roast some marshmallows. Roast some Kit Kats. What else do you roast in the fire?
Oh,
That
I actually have to.
Potatoes.
no Kit
I
Kats.
Yes,
There's black
you
and
can
white
roast
stuff
potatoes.
forming on the
That
eggshell.
tastes
I
really
think the
well.
white
Yeah,
stuff
the
is
white
calcium.
stuff are calcium oxide and
Yeah.
black stuff are carbon. Yeah. I actually
Yeah.
know what's inside eggshells.
Just
because it's like those protective layer thing to protect the eggs.
Yeah, it's a
inside, and
membrane.
basically
Membrane.
organic materials.
Clamshells also have that, which last time I tried to cook a bunch in my oven and just stank until after like it all burned off. Didn't appear to make anything though. The oven didn't get hot enough. Gonna have to modify it into a furnace later.
I think all pyrolysis setups need a fume burner additional stage. Like
Yeah.
it's a requirement.
Oh, my iPhone is dying again. Wait.
Oh my god. Again with a dying iPhone.
Well, it's an iPhone. It's the best thing it does. It just dies.
Oh, that is
I
true.
thought iPhones were really robust.
I have an iPhone, but right on my.
I like Android personally, but
Yeah, it's much
Yeah.
better.
I like iPhones because it's just fast, I guess. And it's kind of hard to use Android.
Android's nice.
Yeah,
But iPhone face tracking is good. Like I heard some people who use VTubing stuff use that, but it's not
Yeah,
Actually,
I
necessary.
heard.
VTubers, when they join, they actually give VTubers iPhone for free to just for the face tracking.
Yeah, but it gives more realistic facial expressions. But I don't think it's required, to be honest.
Yeah, you can just use a normal face tracker, but having a infrared face tracker is actually easier.
What
No,
about
no, no. It
Kinect?
depends on your model. Like,
Can you use
Yeah,
Kinect?
yeah.
you can, yes. But it totally depends on your model. You know, I'd have to, in order to
Yeah.
make my model support that face tracking, I'd actually have to do a lot. Like, I saw the tutorial and I was like, oh, God. 52 extra blend shapes. And I have to hope to God it doesn't bug out. I was like, no
Don't you
way.
just usually make your own program to face track or something?
No, no,
That
no.
sounds complicated.
You don't. You use other programs, and what you have to do to actually support iPhone face tracking is you have to go to this weird website called, I don't know, I think it was just Booth, and then there's this one thing that you have to put in Unity that will load all these blend shapes that is supported for the iPhone tracking, and pray to God it doesn't bug out, because if it bugs out and it looks off, then pray to God you can then adjust it in Unity. If you can't, you have to go
Yeah,
to Blender.
sounds
And
like a
then
hassle. I can literally.
once you have to go to
Yeah,
Blender, you just have to cry your eyes out because your model's facial proportions are weird, and that thing just didn't calibrate well. So now you have to go to Blender and manually adjust them all. No, thank you.
That sounds as if making it from scratch would have been easier.
Dude,
yeah.
it's basically like backwards compatibility feeling where you're just kind of going
Actavesh,
back.
Actavesh, I have idea. I know how to use OpenGL.
Oh my God.
Let's make the software from scratch.
Oh God.
If you can, face tracking, you basically multiple dots for faces, and that's how tracking
Listen,
works.
actually, I know OpenGL, that opens a lot of possibilities because the matrix algebra and stuff, it's, well, just easy shit. The problem is actually getting the data. Also, you can install additional sensors, so you can make your model even more interactive. You don't have to rely only on the camera.
I
And
mean,
since
Yeah.
you have the total control of how the whole program works, you can add as many sensors as you want. More data sources, the more lively it's going to be.
I think I would just make
I mean
like
that's you're basically now we're going to
trackers.
code Miko levels of VTubing.
I
Yeah, something
mean,
like that. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not planning on VTubing.
Well,
Miko actually used her own iPhone to basically face track and stuff.
yeah, but like
Body
her
basically,
suit,
tracking
like
suits.
I remember, like she said that the suit cost like 25, or was it 50,000, or was it 100? It was some stupid number like that, right? But
Yeah,
then I
they
think
actually use a bend sensor. That's
while
why it's so expensive.
while I was in Styropyro Discord, a guy who actually like works with such suits told me it actually only cost 5,000 if you know how to make it entirely from scratch.
Right, I
Yeah,
just came up with
that's
an
kind of how
idea
it
how
is.
to do it.
But that's like a
The
hassle.
bend sensor.
Now, listen, I have idea how to do it for cheaper. I literally made technology on the spot. You know how polarizers work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make dots on whatever the piece of clothing you want, but all of those dots will be, what's that called?
Polarized.
Rotated a bit. They will be made of polarizing material with retroreflector in the back, and you have a camera with spinning polarizing filter in front. So the camera will see all those points, well, point by point, basically. You throw some data calculation shit, but basically camera will be able to distinguish points. And
Why
since you
don't
can
you just use
synchronize the
motors?
rotation speed, you can basically determine which point is what in three-dimensional space. That sounds complicated. It was not in my head, sorry.
No, I
Why
kind
would
of
you
get
just use
it,
motors at this point?
but it sounds.
Why you
Yeah, actually, that's what that hack for 3D gloves did. They just used like, was it like motors to figure out you know,
Oh yeah, yeah, that one. They actually use the string thing for ID cards and stuff,
it
and
was
that
basically just a
that
bunch of
really fast.
potentiometers and some servo motors that basically
I'm
Yeah,
doing it
you
rotated
with
can
it.
actually do
light.
that.
You only
You
need those
gotta.
dots on your clothing. It's gonna be much easier. Holy shit, did I just invent a new technology like that?
Yeah, yeah, Utso, I want to see you with this VTuber concept that uses rotating filters and dots and
Another scientific paper can blow the right and make it up on the spot. Also, you
imagine.
don't need a rotating polarizing filter because you can use a pothole cell. Oh,
Yeah.
y-
Dude, I just can't imagine you going to the movies looking for all the 3D glasses in the bins and just cutting them up and sticking them to your
oh,
clothes.
this is not how it works. I mean, sorta, but no.
I'm making a joke here, okay? Like, come on, let me have my fun.
Okay. Still,
How am I gonna grab this? So
Dude,
hot.
actually, you can use one of those paper punchers. The ones to punch two holes in the paper to put a fastener on it. You could just do that with 3D glasses, and you get a whole bunch of evenly sized dots. Oh my god!
Oh wait, sorry.
I can use
Just wait
LCD
for the fire to.
monitors. I can use LCD monitors, so I can literally make the setup from the scratch because I have the polarizing filters I need.
Oh, yeah,
The only thing I need are those, those motorcycle reflectors.
yeah,
Those
yeah.
dots. I need like a dozen of those.
Sorry, thinking about motorcycles and monitors to make a V-tubing suit. Like that would be
I mean,
hilarious.
you can track all those points, and camera will be able to recognize all of those points. So technically, it's going to be much better than current technology because it will not mistake any points between each other. You won't get any glitches.
What about processing power?
Processing power is not required because it's
It's
most
gonna
of
run a
the
lot of calculations to do this shit,
no.
right?
You can do it before it goes to the computer.
Wait, what?
You can okay. It will still require FPGA or auxiliary computer to run the setup, but it's not going to be as complicated because you don't have a million dots to track. You only have like 3 cameras, I guess, and then you just do some calibration and it should work. Holy shit! I really should patent this technology.
Oh my god, you become a new fucking
I'm pretty sure
VTuber
someone is
studio.
patenting it.
No, I just made that technology on the spot. Lamau.
And
That's
before you
just like
find
my
out some
fallback.
Chinese dude called Xiu Wong figured it out 3 years before you.
This is
Yeah, that's
this is
I've
how
had
I
a I've had several Xiu Wong moments, trust me.
listen. I've made a new power converter design, and then I went on Google and I found one paper from 4 years ago, theoretical paper that went and simulated the design I just made up on the spot, and it worked.
I know, Xiu Wong. Exactly.
No. It was not a Chinese. It was just a random university
And,
doing
and you
research
know,
on
you know,
power
I'm having my
converters.
fun here. I'm just
Yeah,
because
but damn it,
most
it's
of
so
the
hilarious.
papers, most of the papers
Also,
I encounter that somehow steal your work is from China.
uh, I can tell you another funny
I
thing. I was
mean,
working in undescribed laser facility, and there was this lady testing VR laser goggles
Oh
not so
my
long
god.
ago. And I remember in secondary school, my friend asked me to make him a burning laser from DVD. So I took a DVD, I tore it down, I took the laser diode, but I realized I can blind myself with it. So how do I do it without buying expensive glasses? I took container from ice cream, just
What?
poke a hole into it, and I put my old phone on it. And that was like 8 years ago when I did it.
Oh,
I basically invented VR goggles before VR goggles were made, and I made the whole experiment inside of that box with camera just showing me what was happening inside.
it kind of
This is
reminds
ridiculous.
kind of
But
reminds me of the first time I got a blue laser. I literally strapped an old, almost dead camera to my face using a piece of mount board. I did the same thing actually, but that's really it.
That is so hilarious.
We all basically figured, like I told you, the Shu Wong moment is real. You will literally
We know
find
we
out that even
haven't
if you've
moved so
invented
far.
For me, it's
something,
mathematics.
Like
Hey
it happens all the
fellas,
time, and it's
I
hilarious.
got to head out
For
there.
me, it's always in math.
See
It's
ya.
not science. Kind of sad
it's
now.
all so you have those moments in mathematics.
Yes, I usually like. I always try to make a new equations or a new ways to solve a problem because most problems just require you to just brute force through it. So I just don't like it. And when I find a new equation, I basically search on Google and I found out someone already invented it.
Yeah,
And I
man,
did that.
it's really hard to
Like
come up with novel solutions. Like I'm not saying it's
you're a
not
mathematician.
possible.
You're a mathematician.
I'm actually just a high school student, but I usually just solve problems that I just hate when you have to force it.
I remember one day I invented a new algorithm for encrypting stuff. Unfortunately, it was symmetric, so no fancy stuff like asymmetric encryption algorithm. But do you know how I invented it? I basically, do you know billiard ball problem? Basically, if you have certain billiard pool table design and you calculate where the ball is going to be, there's no easy way of determining where the ball is going to be based on the amount of hitting the pool edges, basically. So I was thinking about making an encryption algorithm with that. And unfortunately, for square table, it is easy to find algorithm to immediately determine the end ball position, so it was useless. But I would be able to make encryption based on that.
I guess it's a nice thing to have, I guess, when you just invent that.
Anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
also,
have to implement it.
basically, I am a high school student, yes, but I'm currently 19 and I'm supposed to be in university right now.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. Don't feel bad about it.
It's fine. It's just that I used to study 5th grade like twice, and then when I study until 7th grade, I moved to a new school, and then they sent me back 2 years because they say I am very stupid. So I actually studied 6th grade again,
Oh
and
God.
then 7th grade again until now. I'm currently in
That's
11th
just
grade.
awful. That's just awful. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I used to just hate to study things because whenever I just see math, science, I only was interested in science before, but then I changed to math because I just see how everything just defines things in math. I just like it, and I just
Yeah, math in itself is great, but all those stupid definitions are bloody useless. Just integrals on example. Like the definition of integral is fucking retarded, and the thing is just make the delta smaller, there we go.
It's just like, I don't care what this means, I just want it to do something.
Literally,
that's kinda how
integral
it
can
is
be
at first.
calculated with one simple equation numerically, but they want everybody to do it symbolically for no fucking reason at all. We have computers for a reason.
Yeah, but they kind of just want to teach us old techniques that we use.
My husband doesn't even have a computer, to be honest.
They teach
Like,
us
my
old
husband
techniques,
doesn't have a computer.
but they're useless because there are some old techniques that are useful, but most of them are useless.
Yeah, most.
All you need is just basic algebra, then you could just solve anything at this point.
Yeah, just do it numerically. Like delta is point millionth of something, and there you go. It's probably good enough for everything.
Unless you're doing like rocket
I,
science.
I actually recently had a mathematics test. I don't expect a very high grade, but not a terribly low one. It was
Oh yeah,
about it was about logarithms in triangle
logarithms.
3D objects. It was a bit cursed.
Usually I would just use matrix for that. Speaking about mathematics tests, my mom complained to me about 2 months ago that saying that I like mathematics. Why am I getting low grades on math? So I basically just scored a test, basically on the highest score to just say that yes, I am good at math. I just don't want to just show it to everyone because, well, if you show it to everyone,
I did it with.
they just keep coming to you for some reason.
I did it the same with electronics because I did the same things with electronics because the electronic classes were useless and I was actually doing my projects on my own, but the test from electronic classes was just so fucking retarded. I just said, okay, I will just pass it. I don't care about the grade. Grade gives me nothing anyway.
Yeah. And then, yeah, my mom kind of complained about having low grades, but because I'm in Asia, of course,
Yeah.
Asia kind of just cares about your grades. And so I basically scored a high score just to prove that, yes, I am good at math, I just don't want to show it. And having a math test is kind of pointless. I just want to learn math, and that's all I want to do.
Yes,
And
do
so,
it on your own pace. That's
Very
the
nice.
best thing. You can't rush
being like knowing math is really nice. I personally am like off for this. The only subjects I really like know like at least something about are like chemistry and biology. That's it.
So you're a biochemist.
Yeah. So and yeah, biochemistry. I love biochemistry. Like I'm Southeast Asian, and you know the Asian parent stereotype, so they nag me about my grades a lot, which yeah I kind of feel bad really. How about math, you know?
I kind of hate how people just see you as a grading system rather than you just want to learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, chemistry is so fun, but the mathematics just suck, in my opinion.
I have a good grading
I don't
system.
know.
Basically,
The maths of chemistry don't seem too bad.
Oh, with organic chemistry, it is, in my opinion, pretty bad. It seemed like high school math was repeating itself.
What do you mean?
With logarithms and wait, how do you say that in English?
Exponentials.
No, not exactly exponentials. Just breaking indexes of molecular compounds and that stuff.
I mean, if you're going to chemical engineering, there's a lot more math. You start getting into those differential equations instead of just fucking algebra.
Yeah, that's really like way too high of me. I need something that doesn't have much math because I only know biochemistry.
And like studying the thermodynamics class, there was this one where we had to work with fucking, I forgot, was it the equation of motion or something for like a fluid in like 3 dimensions? And it was this fucking long derivation of a partial differential equation. Those 4 fucking pages long.
Octavus, why
What are
even
you
bother?
talking about?
What?
Why even?
Like, imagine you have a heat exchanger. Do you know how to make proper heat exchanger?
Yeah, there are actual equations for that.
No, listen. You take heat exchanger, you make it 2 times as big, and then you run at half capacity.
Yeah, that's basically it. Just toss the exact fucking, because honestly, it even says that you never really want to run something at rating. You always run something like, you always build something that's meant for at least twice the rating. So as you
Yeah,
said, make it two
the same.
times bigger. Just make it fucking big.
That is the same with electronic components. You cannot run a transistor at its breakdown voltage.
Well, yeah, that kind of makes sense because I mean, it's not gonna last. It's gonna be a transistor, isn't?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that
With
reminds
the
me. So
tubes are hilarious because tubes have the recommended, borders, but you can just disregard them if they're cooled enough.
Oh man.
The tubes do not care.
Well, the last time I talked about vacuum tubes, it was about radios and audio devices that use them. Yeah, but
Well,
whatever.
tubes are difficult to use, but they're based. You know that you can make a computer with only copper and iron, right?
Copper and iron.
I mean, you could
Yes.
just use relays.
No, not relays. It's going to survive a nuclear war. I'm talking about magnetic amplifiers.
Oh.
Like total solid state computer without an emotion based on iron and copper. Oh, Octavius, do you know what magnetic amplifier is?
Not really, no.
Um, it's going to be difficult to explain if you don't know electronics, but it's a based concept.
Yeah, I don't know electronics. I mean, I
I
only
mean,
have half a pinky toe dipped into electronics, I'll be honest. Actually,
Well,
probably
that's the
more
same
than
with me, but
that.
with chemistry. Like, I'm really poor with
I
chemistry.
just have
I
my
know
foot dipped in it, basically. That's it.
that's me with chemistry, basically. I would like to know more, but for now, I don't need to know more.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, there's a problem with chemistry. You cannot debug chemistry easily.
well, yeah, you can't. If your reaction messes up, well, what can you do? If your electrode falls apart, what can you do?
I mean, you don't have oscilloscope for chemistry. Those are called spectrometers.
Actually, there is simulation software that can
Fuck
predict.
simulation software. You have
Spice,
simulation
spice,
software for
hey,
electronics, and it
spice.
never works.
You can try Protus or LT Spice. They are the two more popular.
I know LT Spice, but it's not like respecting the real conditions.
Yeah, that's a problem with simulation software in general. Most of the time, when you do use simulation software, when you're picking one of the equation sets, everybody just puts Peng Robinson, even though they and then in the and then they ask you why you always pick it. I'm like, it's supposed to be the most accurate to reality. I remember, and then
Well,
they said basically, okay, so if you're using Peng Robinson, explain it. And I remember half the people are like, shit, I don't know.
well, electronic is easy because you can measure any quantity using basically oscilloscope. But in chemistry, no, you can't.
Yeah, you cannot. Well, you can technically measure your stuff, but you can't do it while the
Do you
reaction's
want me to make
going
a
on.
desktop nuclear magnetic resonance?
Imagine
thing is,
running a reaction while you're doing an NMR. That sounds
It is possible.
based.
I was thinking about it. The problem is the solvent.
Yeah, that's the problem. It would have to be
solvent.
compatible with the NMR. Has someone actually found a reaction mechanism which is compatible while it's being NMR'd? So you can have a real-time change in the graph
Question.
while it's being measured.
How about gases? Octavius, how about just gases?
Oh, so you want to do GCMS while...
Not molecular. I'm talking just putting a gas in a nuclear magnetic resonance. Output from something.
I think Thunderfoot had an experiment like that. I don't know if it was NMR, but he wanted to basically, you know, he made solvated electrons. He wanted to find the spectrum of naked electrons or something.
No, they were using light, I think.
Ah, okay. I thought they were more based in that.
Probably they were using something similar as I was using, well, not using, as I saw in the unspecified laser lab I worked in, because
Okay.
we worked with laser spectroscopy. And laser spectroscopy is something I want to do as well. The problem is all the laser spectroscopy diodes you need are hilariously expensive. So I need to find alternatives for that.
Imagine you just casually find alternatives in old DVDs. No, it's not.
I
I know.
mean,
I know. It can't happen.
uh, the problem is not with the source, the problem is with detectors. Because the detector itself could cost you 800 euros by just tiny diode.
Okay. So it's a detector.
And the
That's the
problem is
problem.
you don't want to make the detector yourself because it's mercury arsenide bullshit or something like that.
Oh, I see. Well, to be
It would be
honest,
easier to use X-rays to determine
the
what the hell you're
diodes
doing.
themselves contain such things. I believe that some of them are gallium
Detectors.
arsenide.
Yes, but not arsenide mercury something that are used in IR detectors. IR detection is pretty coarse, to be honest.
I did not know it was that cursed.
Like you have the Beer-Lambert's law, whatever the fuck it was
Oh
called
yeah, I
as well.
remember the Beer Lambert law. It's the I'm gonna make a joke. It's the one where you get too drunk and pass out. It's when your name
Yes.
is. That's the joke. That's the joke. I know it. I know it for real. It's something to do with the intensity of light, and it's very important in photospectroscopy.
Density of the substance and the light.
Yeah, and how much friggin' god damn it.
Like that is the primary problem with spectroscopy, I think, because spectroscopy equipment is only suited to measure something in specific concentration range. An oscilloscope has a huge dynamic range. Spectroscopy equipment does not have a huge dynamic range.
Okay, I was also thinking in electrochemistry, you have cyclic voltammetry, right? That
Yes.
you're technically measuring while doing a reaction. And in fact, that also actually gives you a pretty good idea of the behavior in such a cell. It
Yes.
actually does, because what that does is that actually gives you like whether or not your electrodes are going to produce a certain product if you run them at this particular current density, because it actually does a potential sweep along that and says whether or not it will even, work. So, yeah, electrochemistry has a means of probing your
Well, I can try
reaction.
making a setup for that if you want. The problem is it's going to take a lot of time to make a setup for that. But I can try
You
making a
need
setup for
membrane,
that.
by the way.
For fuck's sake.
No, you actually do, because you have a divided cell in order to
Yeah,
test your.
reference. You need a reference.
Yeah, yeah.
But what is the reference solution made out of?
Uh, but what they do here is they do something different. They have a divided cell, and the reference is normally the electrode, I believe. Like you have it in a particular, you know, arrangement. But there's like a certain concentration range you have to abide by as well.
If, if you have a divided cell, of course, on one hand you're going to have your reaction mixture, but what is on the other hand?
No, no, like okay, you don't technically do the reaction using this cell. You find what they do with the cyclic voltammetry is, well, you can. Some papers they do. It depends on whether you're trying to, okay, so with cyclic voltammetry you're measuring both the reduction and the oxidation at the electrodes. So it depends on what reaction you're doing. You can check which part, because you do a potential sweep between the positive and the negative end of the voltage. So you would be able to actually see just on one end with your reaction mixture what's going on, you know. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
The other end, I think the
Okay.
reference is just like either just the solvent itself, or I think there's a bit of ions, I believe, just a bit. I
I
think
think it's too complicated for me
sometimes they
now.
use 0.1 molar perchloric acid. Yes, they actually use perchloric acid for cyclic voltammetry. Sometimes they use sulfuric acid, and in the other compartment they have a bit of other reactants in it if you want to measure specific things. Like they purposely add sometimes a bit of fucking organic pollutants in some papers to measure those curves. See, oh, if we add
Oh.
this, it's gonna look a little different. Oh, see, look over here. We see this peak right there. We see this shit's getting oxidized or some shit
I
like that.
will just stick to my spectroscopy now.
But yeah, cyclic voltammetry, man. It technically you can do a reaction while doing it. In fact, that will determine whether your electrodes even work. Maybe when you're making your steam nails, you can try to do a cyclic voltammetry analysis on it to see how active they are, and you will
The
see why
problem
they're
is I
shit.
cannot. Listen, Octavish, the problem is with electrodes disappearing too fast because they're porous. First, I have to fix that issue.
I mean, yeah, technically. I mean, then if you,
So for now, unfortunately, I have to wait until I make more projects, and when I finish all those secret projects, then I will go back to electrochemistry.
yeah.
All of them, I have a lot of work to do,
I
not
mean,
enough
technically,
motivation to do them
cyclic
all.
voltammetry doesn't need a. Well, it kind of needs an electrode that will at least survive a few minutes while you're doing the sweep. And you can make.
Yes, but you need to make a measuring setup with probably chopper amplifiers because you need that precision, and then you
Yeah,
have to use
I sadly cannot do it with my power supply. If I had like Reform Labs power supply with more precision, it's not ideal enough. There's better ones still that I could get.
I'm working on the power supply for this. It's not gonna
Goddamn.
be high power,
Dude,
but
it
still
doesn't
can be
have to be high
controllable.
power. You barely run this at an amp. Like you're mostly gonna be running currents of like like less than an amp usually, like in the like milliamp range, depending on the size. And your electrodes are usually tiny, precisely because you need to use high precision power
Yeah,
supply.
but
Because if
I
you try
want.
to use high current, you'll just end up with your classic Tafel slope, and you won't see fucking nothing. That's why you
Oh,
need to do cyclic voltammetry analysis in order to find out if your electrodes even work. Because if you just try to brute force them with your high current, you're just gonna see the classic, you know, increase in current density curve, which is an exponential shit.
yeah, but I want data logging.
So yeah, so you're literally gonna make a cyclic voltammetry setup one day. I actually want to see that.
Yes.
And I think that's well within what you can do. So you can make a fucking high precision power supply. You can send me one. Seriously. I want one of these fucking things. Just need the power supply. I can build the rest of the
Listen,
setup.
I can send it to you, but it's going to be probably a bit expensive.
Oh yeah, I know it's not gonna be cheap. That is a product for the future though.
Well, you don't understand. My expensive is like 50 euros.
Ah, that's not a problem. Yeah.
Well, depending, of course, on the casing, because I will not just send you a PCB, because that would be just
Ah,
shit.
yeah. No. Anyway, I think I'm gonna cut the podcast here. I'm still gonna be in VC, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
we're
I
just
have work to do
talking
with my
back and forth.
project.
See you later, all guys. See you all.